So right now, we're going to be going into ramping, no, not break, not quite yet. Because we want to grab your attention. We've heard the problems and we've heard what we need to do. Now let's talk about how we're going to do it and how long it will take. So it's been 100 years more of the idea of having a universal single-payer healthcare. So, but it's going to take a while. So we're ramping up. We need to get going on our 2020 plans. This is not a slam dunk. It requires patience, hard work, and shifting strategies, taking advantage of the moment that we see when we see it. We have, as David mentioned, we have simultaneous campaigns, both federal and state actions, plus regional and local on the horizon. So in this, plan is based upon something that you will see soon in around your tables. It's called our 2020 Action Plan. I'm sorry, we don't have a slide up here for you, but you will have your own hard copy. So what we'll be doing is observing and commenting on the Universal Healthcare Work Group. We'll be advocating for HR 5010, the Universal Healthcare, State-Based Universal Healthcare Act. It has a number now because it's been introduced. We'll ask these representatives to sign on to the bill. We have 8 in our representatives that have not yet signed on as co-sponsors. We need them to work on them. In the first CD, we have Susan Delbene, we have Denny Heck in the 10th, Derek Kilmer in the 6th, Rick Larson in the 2nd, and Kim Schreier in the 8th. If you live in those districts, if you don't even live in those districts, there are other people that do live in those districts, and there are ways you can call the Capitol switchboard and get your comment registered for any representative that you choose to target or focus on, let's say. Excuse me, wrong language. And we want to send letters and personal stories to publications, look for opportunities in the news to make a comment or respond to an article or another letter you saw, attend town hall forums and rallies, share your personal story, ask the speakers there to support universal publicly funded and administered health care, lobby with our legislators in Olympia and in their districts, request a speaker from our group for your group to fill you in on the latest and help you with messaging details. Talk to everyone you know, and we'll be doing, after the break, we'll be breaking into groups to talk about, practice our talking points. So, now, ramping up. We have projects that are coming on the horizon, and I want to tell you about some of them. We are going to involve the business community to a greater level. We're going to reach out and involve diverse communities. We need to move out across from our normal, usual suspect white groups, Caucasian groups, and move into helping and speaking with the racial, immigrant, gender, and economic diversity that we have in our country and our state. We need to get out and understand what they want, involve them, and help them, and we need to help them to find their voices so that we can amplify their voices and give them some hope and get them to help lobby for the issues that will help them. We need to develop speaking presentations with effective messaging to counteract the disinformation campaigns of the medical industrial complex and the new organizations that are cropping up using the name of Medicare for their sham plans. We will need to submit proactive op-eds to the press and letters to the editor. And we need to continue working with our communications specialist here at Healthcare for All Washington and with our lobbyist. And we also want to grow the organization of Healthcare for All Washington and support the board of directors. We if we get sufficient funding, we will start this process of looking for an executive director of our organization. This is a person who would oversee the daily operations of what we're doing, the staff, the websites, the marketing, and the ongoing fundraising efforts. They would assist the board to represent Healthcare for All Washington to other organizations. And they would allow our volunteer board and members to concentrate on what they do best, which is to advocate at every level for universal single-payer health care, state by state, until a federal solution is reached. So we're looking for, and this is where we need your help, we're looking for $200,000. That's our ambitious goal this year. Let me break it down for you. It's a large amount, and as I say, it depends on the level of support that we receive over the year from you, individual donors, and also from major donors that we hope to contact and in the future. So of this amount, $35,000 would fund our lobbyist for a year. $27,000 would fund the communication specialist. These are part-time positions, remember? We need to reprint materials to get the message out. And we have a travel budget of $6,000 for travel to Olympia, offsetting that travel to Olympia for lobbying, and also travel around the state as we plan to move into help the Spokane folks with anything they need over there, or help fund Spokane people coming over here, especially our videographer, to fund or to film video stories of real people that are our work will help. And then we're anticipating about $150,000 would be needed for the executive director, because our intention is to provide full benefits together with the salary. Why not? Move out. Many organizations don't provide any benefits, so we want to make a difference. Healthcare is expensive, so we want to help provide that for our executive director when we bring that person on board. Why would we think that we want to do this? Well, Healthcare for All Washington is uniquely qualified to meet these challenges, we believe. We have a dedicated board of directors who are passionate about single payer and healthcare, and they are also experienced medical professionals and policy experts, some of whom authored the original Washington Health Security Trust and contribute to the revisions that happen periodically. The Washington Health Security Trust is the gold standard blueprint, blue and gold, those are our colors, for how a universal healthcare system could work in Washington State. We have board members who are experienced in communications, public relations, videography, and writing. And volunteers, of course, that we call on from time to time, and they're very important to the work we do. We have a dedicated lobbyist with the experience and connections to bring strategic results in the political arena. That's already been talked about today. A talented communications specialist who creates the social media posts and action alerts, and the program you have in front of you today, in your hands. And of course, our large network of citizen lobbyists and people that write letters and contact their groups to support the work that we do, and many others do as well. We have allies in the social justice, labor, and policy arenas, and many of whom are active together with us through the Healthcare is a Human Right campaign. So that's the outline, that's the challenge. And now I'd like to give Ken Fabert a few moments to talk about why he donates to Healthcare for All Washington. Ken, can you say a few moments of your chair?
It's like a news conference. Well, this is year 3 actually of a grant that my partner Lisa Martin and I have is it? I'm about as close as I can get. This is year 3, going into year 3 of a 3-year grant that my partner Lisa Martin and I have provided healthcare for all Washington through we have a small family foundation, and it was a bit of an adventure for us because this is a little bit more into a political realm, into an advocacy realm, and I think it's incumbent on people to sort of make those kinds of contributions and even the sacrifices. This was a stretch for us, but I think it was money well spent because it, I think, enabled the organization to engage in a higher level of lobbying. And I believe in the cause. I just want to echo what Raleigh said. This is I'm a primary care doc. We're a dying breed, and yet I think we're sort of a linchpin of everything, and we need to get the message out and do it in ways that don't just involve professional activity, but put the money where the mouth is. So we've done that, and I hope it's had a beneficial impact. I think it has, but I'd really encourage any of you to join us and give a little bit. When you hear $200,000, it sounds like a colossal amount of money, but $1,000 probably isn't an unimaginable amount of money for some of you. And if 200 of you and your friends and family do it, well, we're there. So, I'm not a good pitch man. I'm not a good arm twister, and money is always something that's been a bit of a, And at one point in my career, I was a 5-figure doctor for a year. So, it's money isn't what twirls my turban, but it does make the world go round. So imagine that. So anyway, whatever you can do, I think, and timing is everything, and now is the time. I think there's a sense of momentum. There's a sense of change in the air. It doesn't matter whether it's in Washington or Olympia. I truly think the next 12 months are going to be pivotal in our nation's history, and I think some amazing things can come out of it if the passion and the intelligence and, frankly, the pent-up frustration is sort of constructively brought to bear to affect change. I'm channeling 1968 here, folks. I mean, I think this is going to be a big year. So now's the time. If you're at all capable or inclined, do it.